Good evening, everyone. We're going to start this 15-minute press conference. We ask the photographer to only take pictures on the first minute of the press conference, please. And we remind everybody that you're not allowed to film the press conference. Thank you. So we're going to open the floor for some questions. Raise your hand and wait for the microphone if you want to ask. Okay, first question, third row.
ゴールド、監督に伺います。後半途中までもう3点差ですごい競った展開だったと思うんですけども、最後その差を分けてしまったのは何だというふうに考えてますか。
Good. Yeah, you know, when you play against a team of the French caliber, where they've got so many great playmakers and they can hurt you when you make mistakes. If you do make mistakes in crucial areas of the field, then they punish you. And up until that stage of the game, I thought we were asking a lot of questions of them. Actually, I think we asked a lot of questions and ran until the 80th minute. And it's just that's what happens when you play against a very good team. If you make mistakes, particularly in crucial areas of the field, then they punish you. But yeah, they were good tonight. I mean, I thought we were very, very good for, as I say, for the full 80 minutes. And every now and again, you need a little bit of luck, So, and towards the latter stages of the game, our luck ran out, and a couple of penalties went in the other way, and we dropped a couple of balls we hadn't been doing earlier. But yeah, very proud of the guys. I thought it was a very good performance.
Hi Gary, just to talk about a moment, a couple of minutes before the 66, when the USA had the chance for the penalty and the decision was to go for the post. Obviously, to make it a 3-point game is one thing, but to potentially have gone for more and inflicted a bit more of a psychological blow had it come off. Were you in the stands wondering what the right decision might be?
No, I mean, I was always going to back Blaine on that decision, 100%. As it so happened, we got the guaranteed points on the board, which means we were within one score, and so be it. If we had kicked the corner, our line-out actually didn't function as smoothly as I would like to have been. So, I'll always back Blaine in a decision like that. We got the points, gave us the confidence, and we should have continued to play. If we had got the try, they still would have continued to want to play because they would have played for the win. So 6 of one, half a dozen of another. But I would always back Blaine in a situation like that.
Hi. This week, it looked like you guys had a stronger game plan. It looked like we kept it closer. I wanted to ask, in terms of box kicks, at some point, did you feel that there was an imbalance of kicks versus using the offensive momentum during the middle of the game? Maybe, again, kind of attaching to the gentleman's question about psychologically being able to take advantage of the forward motion that we had going on with the play, as opposed to the kicks.
No, I don't think so. The reason being is because where the box kicks were mainly launched from was our own half. It's a powerful French team. They've got some very good guys on the floor. And basically, I think we got some good returns out of our box kicks. I mean, Blaine, particularly on the right wing, chased really, really well. Marty, on the 1 or 2 occasions, we kicked on the left-hand side as well. Chased very well, put them on the floor. The other thing is, as well, is one of the things we identified is that their wingers don't really like to be kicked on. They're much more ball-in-hand wingers, and they're bloody good wingers with ball in hand, but they don't necessarily like to be kicked on. And, we were well organised from a defensive point of view. So, no, I didn't think the balance was incorrect. But when we got into that area of the field, then we did want to keep ball a lot more this week, and I think the guys did a very good job.
Hi, Gary McCleary. You were very honest, if critical, of your team last week, really saying that you'd let yourselves down. Do you think you restored some credibility tonight? And if I can have a two-parter, having now played England and France, how would you see that game in 9-10 days' time between England and France?
I absolutely believe we restored credibility. The only reason why I was as harsh as I was is because I think we were a much better rugby team than what we did against England. You know, some of the things we did against England, and I think you guys saw it, whether it was until the 66th minute or whatever the case may be. Is the fact of the matter is our guys stood up. I think they showed a huge amount of courage against a very good French team. I mean, coming into this game, I think the best half of rugby I've probably seen in this Rugby World Cup was the first half of France versus Argentina. So, you know, when you and you know as well, Mick, as everybody in the room knows, I mean, when this French team are on fire, anybody in the world can be in trouble. And so I thought we contained them very well. We were outstanding in so many aspects of the game. The French statistically have got the best scrum in the world, or one of the best scrums in the world. I thought we scrummed really well against them, and I'm just massively proud of the guys. Going forward, it's difficult to answer a question like that because you don't really know the mindset of the England team coming in against us. And obviously Eddie had made all these changes and Jacques made a whole lot of changes tonight. So I think you probably find two very different teams going at each other when England play France. Yeah, but a 0-0 draw would suit us perfectly, yeah.
Hello, a question for Blaine. At some stage during the second half, did you feel that the French were becoming nervous? They were scrappy, but did you feel that they were becoming nervous?
I think, I mean, it was always part of the game plan to see, you know, if we could stay in the game, because we felt that was an advantage. If the more and more we were able to put on pressure onto the French team, you know, the more and more likely there was a potential that, you know, there would be that seed of doubt that started to creep in. And I think by and large, we were able to create and maintain pressure throughout the first sort of 70 minutes of the contest, which is exactly what we wanted to do. We identified a few areas that we wanted to attack, and when we were able to exploit those areas, we were in really good positions to take advantage. And you know, one of the ways we wanted to create pressure was also on the scoreboard as well. So, but you know, I think, you know, for us to echo exactly what Gary said, you know, we're all hurting because we continue to believe that we're a good rugby team and we're here to compete. But at the same time, we're very proud of our effort that we put forward. And again, we'll learn what we can from this game and apply it to next week against Argentina.
In the back, please.
Jerome Pugmore, Associated Press. Question for Gary. Just thinking about the Argentina game, the fact you're within 3 points with about 15 minutes to go in this one must give you great confidence that you can get a result, possibly against Argentina. What's your thinking heading into that game?
You know, our preparation was exactly as Blaine's just described. I mean, we planned and prepared ourselves against these four teams that we're playing against. We came in here quite genuinely, and you know, maybe many of you might find this laughable, but we came in wanting to give ourselves a chance against all four of the opposition teams. You know, we genuinely did. We had a plan for every single one of them. We knew what their strengths and weaknesses were. We wanted to exploit them, and we didn't very well against England. And I thought as you say, for 70-odd minutes, we did very well against France tonight. So, yes, I'm really confident, you know, going into the Argentina game. I'm even more confident because of the courage that the guys shown after a severe loss against England, and then the travel and a 6-day turnaround, and just, you know, how well they adapted to the new challenge. You know, we've all seen many teams who'll capitulate after that, you know, and go, oh well, you know, we probably weren't tipped to be in this pool, and so therefore we'll give it a go. But we didn't, you know, and at no stage did any of the players do that. You know, I didn't see it at training. I didn't see it at the honesty, you know, that they showed in terms of the review of the video session. I didn't see it in the enthusiasm that they showed to want to come up and play against France. So I have no reason to believe that's not going to be there for the next week, and there's a lot to play for us still. Actually, there's a huge amount to play for. So we're really excited about coming up against Argentina.
Coach, there's no try from set pieces these 2 games. Do you have any clue to make tries from structure?
Yeah, we've got plenty of plans to make tries from structure. Look, it's a good point you make. I mean, obviously we did score the late try against England. I mean, I thought we had a couple of opportunities, today where we could have done a little bit better. I mean, that midfield scrum where we were set up to look to play, and unfortunately it was a free kick against us. A couple of lineouts that we lost in very good positions of the field. So that's the area that we really need to improve on. The best teams in the world don't make those mistakes at those critical moments, because there's a handful of moments in a game where you get that opportunity, and at this moment in time we're not taking advantage of that. So the plan is there. We just need to be better with our execution.
Thanks. One for Blaine. Blaine, you were having quite a lot of discussion with the referee over the course of the game. It seemed that there was a final warning and then another final warning for France. Were you frustrated that they weren't penalised more for what seemed to be quite a lot of indiscipline?
I mean, it's the referee's decision, and I have to look back at the tape in order to see that. But I don't think any of us are going to sit here and say it was the referee. I don't think that's the right thing for us, and that's not what we choose to focus on. We focus on what we can control, and I think by and large it was a fair game, and we do the best of our ability to stay on the right side of the referee, and that's all we can really control. And it's always an ongoing conversation with the referee, and establishing good communication is really important for on the field leaders. But I think at the end of the day it comes down to us and comes down to our performance, and I think that's all we can really focus on.
In the back.
Sorry for my English. Is it possible in French or no?
Yes.
Oui. Juste pour comparer l'équipe d'Angleterre que vous avez affrontée et celle de la France, quelle est celle qui vous a paru le plus en forme physiquement sur 80 minutes?
I think we answered that question earlier as well when Mick asked it. I think obviously we feel we performed a lot better today than we performed against England. I think we could have put England under the same amount of pressure we did against France. But as I said earlier, I'm really happy that the guys have stood up to the test and came out today and gave France a very good run for their money. I'm not quite sure if you're asking about our performance, about England and France's performance, but I think England and France will be completely different teams when they play each other, so it's going to be difficult to compare now.
Just a quick one for Blaine. There were a lot of handling errors in the game. Can you just kind of describe how difficult it was in terms of the conditions out there? They obviously seem very humid.
The conditions are tough, no doubt about that, and we have to adapt. And you've kind of seen that across pool play. I think the difficulty of just standard catch pass. So for us, it's something that we're continuing to work on. And Gary and the rest of the coaches have focused on our timing of the ball and the sympathy in the pass, which it's very difficult to catch hard passes at the gain line with pressure coming. So, again, that's definitely a consideration. It's a challenge. And we do the best we can, but the conditions are what they are, and so we just have to try to adapt the best we can.
We have time for one more question.
Blaine, this one's for you. As you have Argentina coming up, and obviously you treat every opponent as same in terms of intensity, but is there a bit of an extra intensity to this one for control of the Americas' bragging rights for this upcoming game?
Maybe. I mean, maybe. But I think, there's not really any extra motivation you need to represent your country at a Rugby World Cup. So again, we're going to do everything we can to learn and grow from this performance. We're all really excited about the opportunity that we have next week, and our focus is solely going to be on training first and getting better each and every day because, Gary says that when we train well, we tend to play well. So it's about getting back on that training field and going through our systems and structures and looking forward to putting in a really good performance that we're all proud of and hopefully our country is proud of next week.
Thank you very much. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you. Can I leave it?